Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, my dear friends, students of the 4th year Cairo Higher Institute's English Division. It's my pleasure to welcome you once again, and it has been a very long time since I met you. I hope you are all well, I hope you are enjoying a very good health, and I'm very happy, I'm adoring to see you once again. Till this time, allow me to talk to you a few minutes about our course that we are going to go through in this semester. Our course is entitled Academic Essay Writing. And of course, as the title appears, as the title shows, it is an extension to what you have been taught throughout the last 3 years. The course will last for this semester. It means that you are going to have an exam, inshallah, by the end of this semester. And the evaluation or the assessment is as usual. By the end of this course, you must achieve these 3 objectives. The first one is not difficult, especially that you have information about it, that you have gone through it before, especially while talking about the qualities or the characteristics of a good essay, or even how you use description or narration while writing an essay. But mainly speaking, in this semester, we are going to have more challenges which are related to, number 1, argumentative essay, and number 2, comparison contrast essays. These are the 2 main cores we are going to have, either theoretically or practically. I'll have the theoretical part, but you will have definitely the practical one. So far the course materials are concerned, you are going to have the essay book, and you are going to have 2 kinds of presentations. You will have on-campus presentations, the ones I'm going to give you inside our lecture room, our beloved lecture room, and you are going to have online presentations which be delivered to you through CHI's website. And please don't forget the source number 4, which is a book of English grammar. And now allow me to start with you something very brief about academic writing. And please be reminded that the term is pronounced as academic, so the stress is on the 3rd syllable. When you were all students of the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd year, you wrote essays. But now you are students of the 4th year. And mainly speaking, we are trying to prepare you to write academic writings, academic essays. So what is academic writing? What are the main pillars you need to know about such kind of writing? First of all, it is writing completed to fulfill university or college requirements. And of course, as you all know, CHI is a higher institute, so you are receiving education at university level. So don't forget this. You are no more writing for schools, but for university assignments. At the same time, academic writing is a part of academic work. That's why it is written by students, researchers, and scholars. You may write to express some kind of analysis, some kind of proposing a new theory, and you are addressing specialized audience You are not writing for every man. You are not writing for your younger sisters and brothers. You are writing for your colleagues, for your doctors, for your professors, for your what we call academia. Why do you write academic writing? What are the purposes of academic writing? Here you have just 6 examples of these purposes. Sometimes you raise a question at the beginning of your writing and you need to answer it. How are you going to answer this question? It is through academic writing. The question raised can be either chosen or suggested by your professor. At the same time, you'd like to express a subject of common interest, and this expression should reflect your point of view, your concepts, your dogmas, let me simplify it, your intellect. You may convey ideas and you are going, of course, to argue. And that's why you will have argumentative essay as one of our course in this semester. Sometimes you need to clarify a theory, a concept, or even an explanation to your reader so as to make it clearer or to simplify it. Sometimes you inform, other times you analyze, but in both cases you need to address your point directly, straightforwardly. And the more direct you are, the more persuasive you will be. In all cases, persuasion is your target. You must persuade your reader. You must help your reader to take your side. Otherwise, I think there will be some problems. If you are good at academic writing, you will try to involve your reader to think critically. Your critical thinking will be extended to your reader. How can you express yourself critically? This is what we are going to have throughout. After having an idea about the purposes of academic writing, let's see what are the types of academic texts. The texts you are going to deal with, you will have argument and discussion texts, you will have case studies, cause and effect, classification, comparisons, descriptions, literature, reviews, problems and solutions, and recommendations. While you were writing essays, I think you came across 3 or 4 of these types of writings. Who are you who uses academic writing? You can be a professor, you can be a scholar, and you can be, of course, a student. If you are going to talk about any discipline in the form of writing, you need to have academic writing skills. What are the characteristics, the qualities of academic writing? First of all, you are writing for your university course. You are not writing a letter to your friend. You are not writing everyday language. That's why the formal tone and style must be here. You need to avoid casual languages, everyday talks. Contractions are not allowed. You must give me formal language, or according to some sources and in a very restricted manner, you may use semi-formal style. At the same time, you must be clear, you must be concise, and you must be balanced. By clear, you mean you need to talk about everything in a straightforward manner and in a very clarified way, so as to give us what you talk about, what you think about, what you criticize, what you analyze. If you have some vague words or expressions, you must clarify them. You must tell us what is beyond these texts. At the same time, you must be accurate. You must be giving us first time, first right. You need to be balanced in terms of the length of the sentences, the length of the paragraphs. Don't write a very long sentence that is followed by a very short one. Don't write a 15-line paragraph that is followed by a 4-line paragraph. Even the proportion of the ideas must be distributed in a very good way, in a balanced way. If you have raised a question, you must provide an answer. The journey, the trip you have throughout the course will tell you how you may be planned and focused. You are not providing us with a general answer, but a specific answer to the specific question you have raised at the early beginning of your writing. You must be focused. You concentrate on the topic or the subject matter you are writing about. If you don't understand what you write about, how can you imagine that any reader may understand you? That's why you need to be planned and organized. So far the structure is concerned, there must be coherence and there must be logic. If you are not following a logical order, how can you imagine the intellect of others to follow you? If your paragraphs or your sentences are not closely related, then you will have a loosely written text. Every sentence will say something about a topic, while the other sentences in the same paragraph are talking about something else. So you must be coherent. The text must be coherent, and this coherence must be reflected in your writing so as to enable the reader to grasp your ideas, to follow you in a very accurate way. If you are writing a piece of an academic writing, you need to provide evidence. You need to prove your idea. If you have a source, please list it. If you have a fact or a number, please give it and tell us what is your preference. If you are presenting arguments, you must tell me who said what. Simply speaking, you relate the argument to its speaker or its defender. Don't give us a big number of concepts, ideas, discussions, and they are very general and they are not related, especially if you are talking about a topic that needs evidence, that needs proof. When you write a piece of academic writing, you are not writing a personal letter or a personal text. And that's why the objective, not the subjective, tone must be here. Personal tone is not favored, but it is the impersonal one. You are not talking about just your personal experience, but you are talking about a subject matter, a topic, an idea, a concept, an argument, any title that you are going to have us involved in. And that's why it is preferred to use the third person singular tone or perspective. At the same time, you are not allowed to give us your direct feelings, your direct emotions. If you are stating facts, please state these facts directly. If you have to present objects, please present them directly. And again, you are not involved in terms of your feelings or sensation or your expression of adopting one side rather than the other, especially throughout the whole body of the text. You can insert your point of view by the end, in the conclusion. You must determine whether you are adopting concept A or you prefer concept B. You will take the side, but by the end. But throughout the body of the essay, of the academic writing, try to present both views. What is against, side by side, with what supports. By the end, your view will be stated. Academic writing doesn't require blah 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 talking. You must give your evidence, as I've just said. So listing sources is extremely important, and the sources must be credible. Don't write a text that is copied from a web page that belongs to one of your friends. So the websites of academic institutions are preferred. You may conduct the websites of universities, educational institutions, and international organizations related to academic education. The credibility of the source will give you credibility. It will help the reader to trust you, to give the reader the sense that what you are writing is objectively presented. You are not directing the audience, your reader, to adopt a certain view. And following formality is a must. And if you are not organizing your ideas or your sentences or your paragraphs logically, how can you imagine your reader to understand you? And again, this is a kind of organization, a kind of coherence. The sentences must be coherent. The sentences must take one direction, especially in the same paragraph. And the paragraphs must be coherent. They are addressing the topic, even if each paragraph addresses an element of this topic. But all in all, by the end, you need to give me a unified whole. I must be convinced that your ideas are interrelated, that the paragraphs are related to each other, and that what you insert as content follows logic. Academic writing is essentially the writing you have to do for your university courses. And here we are focusing on you as students. So you need to understand that you are writing for university. You are writing for your courses. You are writing a formal, academic, balanced, well-structured, logical, and impersonal text. Of course, you cannot exert efforts to write something that makes you boring, that makes you sense that it is boring, you are bored. So you must write about something that interests you. If you are not interested in the topic, how can you imagine you to be innovative, to be creative? That's why we are going to choose a topic, we are going to have a topic that is interesting to all of you, not to a group rather than another. Academic writing results in a number of texts. We give these texts a number of designations, a number of meanings, a number of names. So designation here means naming. What do we call your output? The paper you write. We can call it an essay, a paper, a research paper, a term paper, an argumentative paper or essay, an analysis paper and essay. All in all, there is no difference. All in all, they share the same principles and goals. Because you are still students and you are willing to have more about academic writing, and that's what we are going to have throughout this semester, this course. Here you have links, not necessarily for your daily use, but please keep these references. These references tells you something about academic writing guides by 37 top universities worldwide. If you are not going to conduct these websites to serve the internet and see these pages nowadays, please keep these links. You may have the chance to conduct any one of them afterwards. By the end of this course, we are going to have an overview of 2 or more examples of these links. And for the time being, I hope that you are going to have time to surf the internet and collect as much information as possible about this term, academic writing. What I have told you today is just a brief introduction. But when I see you face to face, we are going to discuss together what you have been told today, and I'm going to ask you to prepare a list about the different definitions of academic writing. But for the time being, until I see you face to face, I hope you all a good, fruitful week and a very good term. Thank you so much for the time being, and see you inshallah in the lecture room. Goodbye.